All right, hey, it's Ed O'Keefe, and thanks for requesting the 25 steps to creating a transformational, super profitable, big payday live event. And I tell you, I just wrote 12 pages on this document, and I thought I was going to just give you one page with a checklist. And then as I started diving in there, I'm like, man, there's so much to explain and so much to teach on this, and I want to make sure I give it the right way. What you're going to find when you go through this, there's going to be a couple things. One is some stuff's going to be like just straightforward and obvious. Some stuff's going to be a little more advanced and you're going to be like, I have no idea what he's talking about, or I could never pull that off. Let me just put you at ease for a moment. If you could implement a couple simple things early on in a live event, the first thing you got to do is get clarity of your offer. We want to get clarity of what is the purpose of this live event. We're not running live events to educate people, to send them off into the universe without more support, which would be your club or your mentor program, or working with your service, whether you're a financial planner, dentist, broker, any of those high-paying professionals. This model works extraordinarily well. I was talking to one of my dental clients yesterday. He reached out to me, hired me to do an interview with him, and he told me last month he added 14 dental implant cases to his practice at 4.5 times return on ad spend within the first month. That's what happens with big cases. It takes a little while. Some people are like ready right now. And then I gave him a bunch of ideas on, hey, listen, bro, we gotta do the interview. We gotta get a postcard out to them. Every time you have a success story, you gotta mail it to them. You gotta be in their face for the next 6 months, bro, because now you just invested that big chunk. You don't want them going to some other dude when they're ready. So that's one thing, is like, this is working. My other buddy, can't reveal his name. They work behind the scenes as partners on 5-day challenges, and they're doing a few million a month right now. A few million a month. And here's what's funny about this, guys. I asked him a bunch of questions, and he's like, Ed, you don't even realize how they're not doing so much. They got the offer dialed in, they got the market dialed in, and they're just continually getting better and better and better. Live events work. I would argue that if I was going to say, what can you do today to grow your business faster than anything before? This could be your thing, that this is all you do to get clients or get patients. You could be running 4 of these a month if you look at it as a system. If you want to do 1 day, 3 day, 5 day challenges, you could be doing 1 a month. 2 a month. Pick 2 different niches within your thing and just build out a team. I can help you with this. This is like the stuff I'm so excited about and passionate about. I love speaking. I love helping your potential prospect to reach the highest version of themselves. And I want to see you reach the highest version of yourself. The way you do that is through the skill set development of being able to master the language and art of crafting an offer that sells. The reason you're struggling with getting more clients is because you're afraid to get sold to as a client. You're not investing in yourself to keep learning these things. And so when somebody sells you something, you get like, oh man, what's this? But listen to me. When I'm encouraging you to do things, I'm doing this for you because I know that in 3 months and 6 months and 9 months and 12 months, when you've been doing these small little live events, virtual or in person, you'll be a different person. The number one fear in the world is standing in front of an audience and speaking, right? I'm not afraid to do it. Do I get nervous every time before I go do it? Absolutely. Does it get me excited? But as I think it was Kobe Bryant said, unfortunately he passed away, he said, if you're not nervous, what are you doing? Why are you even in the game? Like, you gotta be doing it. It's gotta be exciting for you. So I wanna stretch you, I wanna push you, I wanna get you out of your comfort zone, to challenge you, to look at the checklist, see what makes sense for you, see what doesn't. You have to do things in the format of big group, smaller big group, 1 in 3, groups of 3, groups of 4, and then you could do one person next to them. Now you could build them up the other way too, is like just turn to your partner there, and you can do that, but it's gotta be sequenced. The other thing is to realize that if you want engagement, when you're like doing the hand raisers, you see the pros do it. How many are interested in making more money with your blank, right? And nobody's raising their hands because they're all feeling awkward. So how do we get there before then? Well, we layer in like, oh my gosh, all these people came from all over the country. Look at my hands, they're out wide. All over the country. Let me see who came from the East Coast. Okay, let me see who came from the West Coast. See, those are low threatening questions. You should have your team figure out like who came the furthest. Even when I run a local event, who drove the furthest, who drove 90 minutes while everyone else drove 15, get them a microphone. Why'd you come from Australia? And then what you're doing is you're building in a testimonial. Why? That guy invested this much to be in my room. All the people who invested less are like, wow, this room must be really valuable. I wasn't even gonna come. Think about that. Those are advanced strategies. The other thing that's very, very important here is that when you run a live event and you're gonna sell something, you absolutely have to have a testimonial panel. But you don't just give them a microphone. You absolutely need to have structured questions. Look, who are you? Should be less than 1 minute. Why did you choose to work with the expert? should be number 2. They should know that you're going to ask them that question, okay? And a lot of times what we want to hear is, well, because I've tried other things, I've done other things, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with other people and I failed left and right, blah, 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 blah. This guy's the real deal. That's how you get a testimonial out of these people. Third thing is, it should not be you handing the microphone on a testimonial panel. That should be somebody like myself. It should be a wingman, pitchman, who knows how to read a room, structure a room, and make sales for you. And so I'm on one side of the stage, interviewing these guys, handing microphones, facilitating, pulling, okay, yeah, you came from Arkansas, well, da-da-da, why'd you fly from Arkansas? There's the reasons, da-da-da-da. Why'd you choose him? What would you tell your best friend about name of expert? Let them talk. Unbelievable. Well, I would say he's one of the nicest people I ever met. He's not like this rich da-da-da person. He's humble, down to earth. We'll go to the end of the earth. I'll tell you a personal story is my wife and I were experiencing an issue with something. I called him. He responded on a Saturday. You know, I mean, he just goes above and beyond for people. Why? Because that embeds in other people. Look, I'm not going to be left alone, right? That's a belief system we got to shatter in that. So that's how you actually do a testimonial panel the right way.